Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Gargi and I read science fiction, fantasy as well as queer contemporary. So if you like those kind of books, you might like my channel. So I am back after a long hiatus. I think the last video that I generally made for YouTube and posted was my Illumicrate Poppy War archive unboxing, which was I think late September. No, wait. No, it was late October. No. Oh, it was November. So yeah, it's been like 3 months since I have made any YouTube content because, you know, making content is hard, and especially at the end of the year, you get hit with that sweet depression. So I was dealing with that, and also in winters I hibernate, which means that I cannot live without a space heater around me. It would have been really hard to make a video if I was too busy just trying to gather heat from a space heater. So yeah, I thought I would wait until it got a little warmer, and I did not need a space heater. So here I am. If you have been a subscriber for this channel for before this video, thank you so much for sticking around, and yeah, I really appreciate your support. So if you're looking at me and wondering what the fuck is my hair, I do not know. I tried to make it cotton candy pink, but it did not turn out that way. I mean, it was that way for like a day or two, but then I washed it and all the color came out, and I'm pretty pissed because I spent a shit ton of money on this stupid dye. I left a bad review, so I think that's all I can do about it. But yeah, so yeah, let's get to it. So today I'll be doing the New Year New Tag by Divya. I will link her channel in the description below. She is the sweetest, most adorable person on booktube and book Twitter. She's one of my favorite people in the entire world. So the New Year New Tag was created by Divya for her 12 days of Bookmas that she did in December, and you know, I should have done this around New Year, but like I said, I was hibernating and also depressed. So never too late, I hope. I'm only 2 months late, but it's okay, right? It's definitely okay. So let's get into the questions. Fuck, I have to open this. The first question is, what was your favorite read of 2020? So in 2020, I read around 140 books, so it's kind of hard to choose which would be your favorite, but for this, I have chosen The Henna Wars by Adiba Jagedar. If you have been a subscriber of my channel and have watched my previous videos, you would know that I am in absolute love with this book. So this is a YA contemporary about a Bangladeshi Irish Muslim girl named Nishat, and at her school they have this competition kind of thing for, I think they call it sixth form. I think like the year that you're about to graduate, that year, right? So at that year they have a business class and they have a competition where you have to set up your own business and, you know, create some revenue. Whoever creates the most revenue wins, and they get a grant, I think. Nishat, since she's South Asian and she loves her grandma dearly, who has passed down the art of henna to her, she starts a business doing henna on people's hands, and she has this very annoying classmate who used to be her friend, who is a white girl who obviously culturally appropriates. She also starts doing a henna business, and she does it using her cousin, which is Flavia, who is a biracial, half Brazilian girl. She is bisexual and Nishat is a lesbian. They kind of start falling for each other while being rivals. At the same time, Nishat is dealing with her parents being very closed off to her because she came out to them, and she is dealing with, you know, kind of being treated, she's dealing with kind of being ostracized from the Muslims in her community because she has come out as a lesbian, and so she's like feeling this kind of divide between her culture and her identity, and at the same time she is confronting cultural appropriation at her school. And it is a very beautiful book, and since I am also a South Asian queer femme person, I related like very hard to this. I imprinted upon this book, and I love it so much. And another of my favorite books of 2020 has to be, oh my god, the Puppy War series. I think I have raved about these books a lot in my previous videos. I am still collecting my thoughts. I read, yeah, I think, yeah, I'm still collecting my thoughts. I think I read The Burning God in September, and I am still coping. They're amazing books. You should definitely read them. So they're kind of this series is an adult fantasy. It is loosely inspired from the Second Sino-Japanese War, and well, it's fucking great. I don't know what else to say. But yeah, it confronts a lot of bigotry in society when it comes to racism, classism, capitalism, and colonization. So much, just so much. I cannot accurately summarize it in a few words right now. But the good news is that I am going to reread this series with my best friend Amog. I actually gifted him the entire series because I wanted him to read these books. So when we were in college, we kind of used to read the same books and we used to exchange books a lot. Yeah, he's doing his postgraduate in graphic design, media and communication, and he doesn't have the time to read a lot of fiction books. So I kind of, handpick certain books and I gift them to him and be like, hey, read this book. I really need to discuss this with you. Since I have now effectively roped him into reading these books, we will be reading them together, and I have also roped him into doing Zoom calls with me where we discuss these books. So I think I will be making videos out of those Zoom calls and putting them on my channel, which would kind of be my reading experience of the Puppy War series, because I dearly love this series and I really want to analyze all of it and put my analysis online for other people to watch. But I think I find it way easier to analyze anything if I am conversing with another person and they understand what I'm talking about. So I think this would be a great way for me to analyze this entire series. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And after we're done with the Puppy War, I think I'm going to force Amog into reading maybe Jade City so that I can do the same thing again. So second question is, what book did you read in 2020 that you would recommend people read in 2021? For this, I have chosen The Chronicles of the Witch Queen by K.S. Veloso. So this is again adult fantasy. This is inspired by Filipino history as well as mythology, and it is amazing. So these are all my tabs. As you can see, they are extensive. So the writing in these books is beautiful, extremely vividly imagined, and just it will take your breath away, and they are so beautifully character driven. So this book is about Talion, whom I'm going to call Tally, which is her nickname, and she is the very first crowned queen of this recently merged kingdom. She is the daughter of this man who waged a war against the people of her husband, and the war did not exactly come to an end. They decided to, come to a mutual understanding, and they were like, okay, we'll merge our kingdoms and we'll rule together. So she got married to this dick of a guy named Rael, and they were supposed to rule together, but he left on the night of their coronation, and she is known as this extremely ruthless queen who kills people left and right if they displease them, and she rules with an iron fist. And what happens in the first book is that she gets a mail from her husband asking her to come and meet him in this other empire, and she does go there because she loves her husband dearly, and she wants to sort out the differences. She's angry at him, but she also wants to see how this is going to go. So she goes, she meets him, and oh my god, just so much stuff happens. But she essentially becomes this, she essentially becomes a queen in just her name, as she's wandering around this empire where she has no allies and she is constantly in trouble. And what else should I say? Oh right, so this also has a side character named Kind. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And he is a baby. He deserves to thrive. so much, and I love him. He is yeah, he is an LO cis hat man, and I sip for him so hard. So I think that should tell you a lot about how good of a person he is. But yeah, these books are fucking great. And so yeah, these books are fucking great. So the first book is called The Wolf of Oren Yarrow, and the second book is called The Icazar Falcon, and the third book, which releases in, I think, May? I'm not sure. I will put the right date somewhere on the screen. And it's called The Dragon of Jinsaying. Its cover was recently revealed, and like every single person who has read the series is going gaga over it. And yeah, so fucking excited. The third question is, what genre do you want to read more in 2021? So definitely I want to try out some middle grade, and I have already done that this year. I read George and Rick, both by Alex Gino. I listened to the audiobooks. They were really amazing. I love queer books, and I think queer books for young readers are even more important. To see that kind of representation when you are so young definitely would have blown my mind if I got to do that. So they are so sweet, and you know, they have this kind of innocence to them, and at the same time they discuss really hard hitting concepts and topics. And yeah, I think middle grade is pretty fun. I haven't really read any middle grade ever since I started reading. I haven't really read middle grade because a lot of hype is centered around YA books, so that is where most of my focus has been. I've seen some really great middle grade books around, and I read King and the Dragonflies by K.S. Calendar last year, and it was so good, just so good. In terms of representation of a gay black boy, it had some really beautiful discussions around friendship and queerphobia and familial love, which I found really amazing. And just the way that they were talked about, it was like, it felt very I felt at ease reading that, and yeah, I felt at ease reading that. So definitely going to want to read more MG books. So I definitely want to read more MG books. So right now I think the two that are my most anticipated reads are Ghost Squad by Claribel A. Ortega and The Girl and the Ghost by Hannah Alcoff. So these two I'm looking forward to reading pretty soon. I don't know when I will, because right now I'm in a reading slump and I have a bunch of arcs to get through. Another genre that I want to read more of is Gothic Horror, because I think like that is the kind of horror that really gets me. And last year I read Mexican Gothic, which again I have raved about before, and I also read this queer Gothic anthology called Unspeakable, and they were really fucking great. So I think like Gothic horror is the only kind of horror that really makes me feel scared, or just like makes me feel anything that comes close to the feelings of horror that you're supposed to get. Books that I have in mind for Gothic horror are, one of them is A Dowry of Blood by S.C. Gibson, which I've already read. It's a novella. It's Dracula's Wives reimagining. It's fucking great. Like every single line in that book you would want to remember. It's so good, so beautifully written, and like it's like so lustfully evocative. Like I get chills talking about it. It's so good. And another book that is supposed to, I think it's coming out in September. It's called Summersense. Wait, let me check. Oh yeah, I did it right. It is called Summersense. Okay, yeah. So Summersense by Lee Mandello. This is a book about this guy named Andrew, and he has a best friend called Eddie. And Eddie goes away to college before him, and he dies within 6 months. And then Andrew goes to the same college, and then he's kind of like living with the ghost, because you know he's living in the same room as Eddie, and he's going to the same places that Eddie used to go, and he kind of figures out that, you know, he did not exactly know Eddie as he was in that college. It's supposed to be queer, Gothic obviously, and it has Appalachian drag racing, I think. Yeah, Appalachian drag racing. and it also has academic intrigue, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So I recently posted a list of books by non-binary and trans authors that I'm anticipating, and this book was on that list. So I will link it in the description below if you are interested in checking out that list. Why do I talk so much? I really shouldn't. The fourth question is most anticipated release of 2021. No one is fucking surprised when I say it's Honey and Issue's Guide to Fake Dating. The best book ever. I have already read it. Thank you, Page Street Publishing, for sending me an e-arc. It is so good. It's just the best. So sweet, so endearing. I cannot get over it. As you might have inferred from the title, it's about two girls, Honey and Issue, who faked it. Honey is a Bangladeshi Bengali Muslim bisexual girl, and Issue is an Indian Bengali queer girl. They are the exact opposites of each other. They have such contrasting personalities, as well as their circumstances in life are pretty contrasting as well. And I had such a great time reading this book. It is so cute, just like so fucking cute. I cannot get over it. I have kind of written a very, low-key review about it, which is just me raving about all the things I loved in that book. I will link it in the description below if you're interested in checking it out. But yeah, Honey and Issue's Guide to Fake Dating. Just amazing. So the fifth question is an owned book you really need to read in 2021. So for this question, I would say that would be the Broken Earth Trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. So this first book in this series was gifted to me by Cass. Thank you, Cass, I love you. I'm really excited to read this series. I have heard so much about N.K. Jemisin, and I think she's considered one of the pillars in the SFF writing community, and I just cannot wait to read these books. I cannot wait to read these books. I will not be able to tell you what they're about because I have never read their synopsis. With backlist books, I don't look at the synopsis, I only look at the vibes, and I pick those books up. So yeah, extremely excited to read the series. In January, I posted a list of adult SFF books that I want to read this year, and it has some really great adult SFF books on it. So if like me, you want to read more SFF books and have recently started getting into adult SFF, I would recommend you check out that list. It has the 5th season on it, and I think it also has the What Trilogy on it. So yeah, I will leave a link in the description below. Next question. An author you really want to read in 2021. I am very excited to read a lot of debut authors, and I have gotten arcs for some of them too. So yeah, just really excited to read them. I think this question is more about non-debut authors. So for that, I have Katie Zhao, which I totally stole from Divya, who created this tag. There's 2 books out currently, which is a middle grade duology called The Dragon Warrior, and I've heard pretty great things about it from all the people whom I know have read those books. And she has 2 books coming out this year. One of them is a YA dark academia, which is called How We Fall Apart. It has an all-Asian cast, which is, pretty fucking great, because there's this stereotype of Asians being really good at studying. A lot of them are, but I think they're always missing from dark academia books. I was already pretty excited about this book because I want to get into dark academia, and I think I was kind of not able to get into it because most of the dark academia books are pretty white, and it's just not that comes nowhere near my experience of academia, because first of all, because I'm not white, and also because I don't live in an American society. I live in India, and I think the experience of being an Asian American would probably be a lot closer to my experience. This was one of the reasons why I was looking forward to this book. And then I read a conversation that Katie Zhao had with Lily on her blog, and Katie Zhao, she talked a little bit about the very inherent toxicity of academia and how academia functions in our society, and how it puts intense pressure on kids, and how all of that would be confronted in her book. So that made me even more excited. I cannot think about academics without thinking about how it really it just destroyed my mental health in so many ways, because of the intense pressure we faced from all sides while we were in academics. So yeah, Katie Zhao. Okay, so I forgot to mention this while I was recording, but Katie Zhao has another book out this year which is called Last Gamer Standing, and it is inspired by Fortnite, and it's about multiplayer RPGs, I think. And I love video games, so I'm really excited for it. And even if I don't play Fortnite, I just have a vested interest in video games. So I'll be looking out for that one as well. Other authors that I want to read in 2021, N.K. Jemisin is definitely one. Along with the Broken Earth trilogy, I want to read her other work, and which I have heard similarly great things about. So I love SFF. So yeah, I love SFF, and I think I've been missing out on a lot of things because I was sticking to YA. And since now I'm not doing that anymore, I think there are a lot of avenues for me to explore. So I want to do that with N.K. Jemisin's work, and also with Evan Winter's work, who is the author of The Rage of Dragons and Fires of Vengeance. I have both of those books on my TBR. I have the audiobooks for them. So I am looking forward to reading those books as well. Another author that I want to read in 2021 is Neon Yang. So yeah, so Neon Yang, they are a writer of adult SFF again, and they have written, yeah, from what I know, they have written a lot of short fiction, and they have written a series of novellas which is called the Tenserate series. So I have the first book with me. It's called The Black Tides of Heaven. The others are in transit, and the omnibus of this novella series, it's coming out this year by Tor, and I have read some of their short fiction. It's very queer and it's very Asian, and it's kind of very gothic. Like even if it's not horror, but it's very gothic and it feels so lustfully forbidden, and it evokes a certain feeling that I cannot describe, but they are so good, just so good. I might be working on a blog post that recommends a lot of their work, so look out for that. So next question is a reading habit I want to cultivate in 2021. I have given up on ever cultivating any habits because I cannot focus for long enough to cultivate a habit. Long story short, I suck at almost everything. I'm not good at concentrating for long periods of time, so it's very hard for me to maintain a habit. So usually I just do whatever I feel like doing. I don't really have a schedule for anything at all, except for waking up and going to work, because that's how I get money, and you gotta do things for money, man. But there is a certain habit that I want to cultivate in 2021, which is read all my arcs as soon as possible, because it's really fucking annoying that I have certain arcs pending from 2020, and they're all very great books, but I just haven't been able to read them because I'm busy, or I just don't have the time, because I'm not able to read digitally. Lots of problems, but they're really great books. I haven't been able to read them or review them, so I kind of feel bad about it. So this is one habit I definitely want to cultivate. Okay, last question. We finally reached the last question. My throat is so parched. I've been speaking for so long. Okay, so what is your reading goal for 2021? I don't exactly have a reading goal. Since last year, I have gotten into a habit of setting a reading goal of 69 books on Goodreads, because yes, I'm very juvenile. So yeah, that is my reading goal. I will most definitely surpass it, because last year I read 140 books, and till now, today's date is what, 23rd February? Yeah, so till now I have already read 25 books, plus a lot of short fiction, plus a bunch of comic books, plus a bunch of manga. So I think I will definitely surpass that goal. Let's see where it goes, but yeah, that is my reading goal of reading 69 books. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to do this tag, please go ahead and do so. Please tag Divya when you post about it, and also tag me, because I would love to see your answers to these questions. And if you have read any of these books, tell me what you think about them in the comments. And I am looking forward to making more videos. I think I had a fun time today. So let's see how this goes this time. Gargi doing YouTube in 2021. I'll see you next time.